Allison Pullman, as well as student athletes Katie Dennebeer and Taylor McCauley. For those seeking additional interviews, the Bulldogs locker room is open at this time. Just like before, we'll begin this presser with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes. Once those are done, the student athletes will be dismissed, and we'll move on to questions for Coach. Coach, your opening statement.
Sure. So overall, really excited about this team and the byproduct of what they've done the entire year. To get to 29 wins for the first time in program history, I think is a really impressive statistic. We would really like to get it to 30. But today, clearly a lot of different adjustments that could have been made. Ball could have gone in the hole a little bit more. And the captain obvious thing about rebounding clearly did not go in our favor. So still very proud of our team. But just didn't come out our way.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes?
David Smales, Associated Press. Katie, 18 points in the first half. What did they do to slow you down in the third quarter and even the fourth quarter?
They're just a really good team, and they played like a really good team. And I think our whole offense just got a little bit stagnant there in the third quarter. Our shots weren't falling, and we just didn't have an answer for that. So I think that's something that we'll definitely learn from. But they're a good team, but I think we just have to be in a scoring mentality the whole third quarter, the whole rest of the game, and I think we kind of lost that there in the third quarter a little bit.
Any further? There we go. Front row, middle.
For either of you, you get out to a 9-0 lead, but they kind of got it back right away. Was that a little demoralizing after you got off to such a great start to kind of lose it in the next 2 or 3 minutes?
We'll start with Katie on this one.
Demoralizing? No. I think basketball is a game of runs, and you just have to expect that from the other team. It's a game, and you see it all the time. I think, again, they're a phenomenal team. We like to get off to a quick start, so yeah, they went on a run, but we hung with them the whole first half. So I think that's something that we should be proud of.
Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that they're going to be a tough team from the get-go. They weren't just going to lay down. Again, like Katie said, it is a game of runs, but it's kind of how we respond to those runs. So I think, again, the third quarter, we kind of just looked a little lost out there, kind of back on our heels. But I think the other 3 quarters, we played our hearts out and didn't let their runs really take us out of our Drake basketball.
Any further questions for the student athletes? All right, thank you, ladies. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to questions for Coach. Second row.
Coach, talk about their size advantage, not just on the rebounding, but just overall. It seemed like they had bigger players at almost every position. How did that take you guys out of your game?
Well, I do think we've seen this before, within our schedule. I think we've done a better job in responding to it as far as like navigating and figuring out edges and different things of that nature. You could talk about their size, but what I would like to talk about is, last year all we heard for Drake men's basketball was how Drake men's basketball is the oldest team in the entire NCAA. I don't know why anybody hasn't done that for women's basketball, because I think Colorado would be that team. We kept saying about the men last year that they were already collecting Social Security. And so I think this very veteran Colorado team, once again, yes, size maybe, but you're also talking about a heck of a lot of experience that they've been able to put on the floor.
Go front row here.
I think 11 first-half turnovers. I don't know, was that uncharacteristic for you? And besides the rebounding, that seemed to kind of put you in a little bit of a hole.
In all honesty, yes, I would love to say that it is uncharacteristic. There's different times, whether it's our communication of not really being on the same page, or whatever it is that we're responding to what the other team is doing. And I think it was probably a combination of the two, where we just, a couple mishaps here and there, but back to Katie's response, which was very eloquent, and she did a phenomenal job of answering that question as far as basketball being a game of runs. We could probably have 11 turnovers, but maybe still score 24 points in that quarter, sort of situation. So it is, yes, uncharacteristic. I would definitely go after the rebounding side of things as far as what's very uncharacteristic for our squad.
Any further questions? All right. Thank you, Coach. Congrats on a great season.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you, guys.